Well, good afternoon and happy Friday, everyone. Welcome to this very special sponsor edition of Automation Hour. We are thrilled to have you with us today. So Chantel, if you would like to be my Vanna White, we'll hit the next slide and go through some of our basic logistics. So we do have all the lines muted. However, you are encouraged to interact with us today either through the Salesforce Automation Hour Trailblazer community group or using the question widget that's here in GoToMeeting. We are recording this, so we will get this posted to our YouTube channel afterwards. And again, we invite you to interact with us wherever makes the most sense for you, whether that's on the Trailblazer community, through social. You can see all of our destinations there on the screen. So next up, we have gone bootcamp this year. So Automation Hour is committed to helping everyone out there learn flows from the very beginning. And so we are thrilled to have a great lineup covering all of those topics throughout the year. So here's our first half of the year schedule. And we've got the second half of the year on the next slide, so we can go to that one as well. And you can register for each of those sessions, as many as you like, by heading to automationhour.com/upcoming webinars. All right, so next slide. We want to say thank you to our sponsors. We would not be able to bring you this content every other week the way we do without their support. So our first sponsor is Concrete.io. We want to say thank you to them. And then next up, we have our sponsor who's with us today, SUMO Scheduler. So you'll get to hear some great insight and information from them here in just a little bit. And then finally, but absolutely not least, is ActiveCampaign, who we could not bring you all those wonderful reminder emails without. So thanks to them. So next up, of course, you've got your co-hosts. You've got me, Michelle Hansen, as well as Rakesh Gupta, who's on the line with us today as well. But you're not here to hear us talk. You are here to hear from SUMO Scheduler. So with that, I am going to pass it over to you, Marshall. Welcome to Automation Hour.
Thank you so much, Michelle. Really appreciate it. We're so glad to be here. It's nice to be able to share with your amazing community just some of the really neat things that we're able to do with automations. Again, my name's Marshall. I'm part of the marketing team here at SUMO. Today, we're going to be talking about reducing admin workload and improving data integrity with appointment scheduling and flows. Next slide, please, Chantel. So SUMO Scheduler, we are a Salesforce native app. We are the first Salesforce native scheduling app. We do appointment scheduling, event and course scheduling applications. We're helping top companies to engage with more customers where they are and secure their business and loyalty long into the future. On average, our clientele is seeing a 35% increase in customer satisfaction, as well as employee satisfaction, a 25% increase in employee productivity, a 70% increase in appointment bookings, as well as a 35% decrease in appointment cancellations and no-shows, which is huge for each one of our clients and their bottom line. We do have some core values that we really represent here at SUMO. We provide a personalized customer experience for each and every one of our clients. We provide a tailored scheduling experience. We have a complete scheduling platform where we are able to boost client engagement by offering one-on-one meetings, group courses, events, and front-of-the-line queue scheduling. We are a 360-degree Salesforce solution. We, being native to Salesforce, we are able to provide the client privacy and security that our clients in particular, like higher education, financial services, health and life sciences, the security and the privacy that they in particular need. We provide automated data capture. We are a solution that is, able to do the right size. We handle not only small businesses, but we also work with enterprise level clientele and medium-sized business clientele. Our product is really easy to implement and use, and we're just, again, really excited to be here today and share with you. What's the next slide, please, Chantel? And here it is. So Chantel is what our senior solution engineer. She has a ton of knowledge on deck for you today. She is a wealth of knowledge when it comes to flows and automation, and she's going to share a little bit about her experience and herself and show you some great use cases today. I would brag on Chantel, but I'm going to let her do that instead and turn it over to her now. So Chantel, take it away.
Thanks, Marshall. First, I'd like to thank everyone for joining today. I'm Chantel Armstrong, and I'm the senior solution engineer here at SUMO. I've been with SUMO for about 4 years, but I've been using Salesforce for more than 15. I've worked with a lot of clients from different markets with different needs. Something they all have in common, though, is that they're looking to provide their end users with a solution that is scalable and easy to use, while also reducing any task that is considered non-revenue generating. The agenda for today is I'm going to walk through some use cases that I've helped some clients solve through the use of flow automation. And then we're going to talk about some of the results that they were able to gain through that using that automation, and then we'll open it up for some Q&A. Let's get right into it. So as an admin, I want to send an auto-generated email with a link to schedule an appointment based on a combination of field values on the participant record. Oftentimes, there are phases that a potential customer may go through that determines that they're ready for the next step, and an appointment should be scheduled. You can use Flow to auto-generate an appointment link that you can then send by email when that particular participant has met that criteria without the end user doing anything. It's simply just doing their normal day-to-day tasks, and then that through the Flow automation, we would auto send an email to that client. This saves the end user time. It ensures that the right type of appointment is scheduled with the right resource. We currently have a client, it's a humane society, currently using Flow automation for animal adoptions. Their process includes sending an appointment link to a list of participants that filled out an application for a specific animal. They're using the Flow to auto-generate the scheduling link and then send an email. This Flow also expires the scheduling link if the participant doesn't schedule within a specific time frame. And then if the link is expired, then the process starts over again, and the next participant in line receives an email to schedule. This would continue until the animal has been adopted. Now, this automation in particular took a huge burden off their internal staff because previous to them implementing SUMO in conjunction with this flow automation, that process was entirely manual. Like they had somebody writing the emails, sending off, trying to schedule appointments with customers in order to get the animal adopted. Now the staff has more time to spend on finding the right participant or person for that animal. Next use cases, as an admin, I want to update the subject of an appointment to include the participant's name or phone number. Oftentimes, we have clients who typically use their external calendar as the source of truth. This allows flexibility and accounts for all their activities that might take up their time, like internal meetings or maybe like their PTO, just stuff that you normally wouldn't schedule in Salesforce. Sometimes they want to be able to quickly look at their calendar while having to open the item to see who it is they're meeting with, because maybe there's things they need to do to prep for it, or they just want to know the person they're meeting with. While still maintaining all the things that they need to do. So what we can do is create a flow that would go ahead and append the participant's name to that particular record. And I'm going to show you the simple flow that we created for this. This is a more simple flow. It's a pretty standard, just couple items in here. So firstly, we make it specific to when the Salesforce event record was created. And then we're also, in addition to that, making it specific to when it's a SUMO appointment that was created to not affect other teams or departments that might also be using Salesforce events. After that, we are just updating the record. that triggered this flow. Didn't mean to do that. That triggered the flow to append with a formula that is just concatenating the subject and then adding in the particular participant's name. So we just used a formula, which is an element that we added in here. So now I'm going to show it to you in action. So this is our multi-calendar, SUMO's multi-calendar. It's a calendar that we host inside of Salesforce where you can schedule appointments from. You can see all sorts of team information, other people's stuff, but I'm not going to get into all that. I'm just going to go forward and create an appointment. So we're going to go ahead and create this appointment. I'm going to choose consultation. I'm going to choose my participants. We're going to choose Sally. I'm going to choose the 22nd at 8 a.m. and then I'm going to go ahead and book my appointment. And now here we see on the calendar that we have the subject has appended the Sally customer's name to the subject line. This will also show up on their external calendar. In the subject line of any of the appointment that would be booked on that external calendar. All right, let's go back here. The next use case that we're going to talk about is, as an admin, I want to use a different email field other than the standard Salesforce email field for the address to send the SUMO appointment notifications to. We're all well aware that Salesforce offers many email fields that they're able to use, and customers sometimes even add additional ones as a means to gather as many contact lines to that customer as possible. SUMO email notifications leverage the main email field from the contact lead account when determining where we're going to send that notification. However, sometimes we have clients that allow their customers to provide multiple forms and make a decision on which one they'd prefer to be contacted at. So we've made it so it's possible where you can use a flow on in the background to go and update the recipient address that SUMO is going to send to. And then that's where the email notification can go. So there's two different ways this can happen. You can allow your customer to choose through the course of which they're scheduling, or you can decide that based on how you gather information from your clients that you want it to point towards this specific field in Salesforce. So it makes SUMO flexible as we're able to solve many use cases for many different customers with a lot of different needs, just based on what their data is. Our final use case that we'll talk about today is, as an admin, when an appointment for a specific service or appointment type has been created, they may also want to create an opportunity and populate specific fields for that opportunity based on different criterias. While most sales industry companies, there is some concept of using opportunities, which are generally created when the lead reaches like a certain stage or based on a specific appointment being scheduled. Admins can use flows to auto create that opportunity for the sales rep for when those requirements are met. In addition, they can populate fields on that opportunity and then relate that opportunity back to the appointment or the Salesforce event record to ensure that it's related and easily accessible from the opportunity for when the sales rep comes back to the opportunity and is working that opportunity. Today, we have many clients that do that, but one in particular that comes to mind is we have a law firm that when an appointment of a certain type is created through their website, it's auto converting the lead when they schedule that appointment type. And then through conversion, it's also creating that opportunity. They gain back time for the attorney by reducing time that they would normally spend on going through the steps of converting the lead, creating the opportunity, populating all the things, which now allows that attorney to spend more time researching their client's case. It just takes away from the end user's like task time. It allows them to do more revenue generating things. Okay. Now let's talk about some of the results or goals that our customers have seen from using flow automation. So there's a higher product adoption because anytime you can reduce like their manual activities or just tasks that they have to do with creating records, they're more likely to use it. That's fewer mistakes and fewer data integrity problems. Because when you use automation to create records and populate fields, it's always going to do the same thing based on the criteria you set for it. There's less human error that can happen. Your reporting becomes more accurate because you know that it's accurate. You have less user training costs and fewer feedback conversations from managers because you don't have to train them to do it if it's automated. There's no conversations of coming back to it because they made a mistake or did something that they shouldn't have done as far as when they were creating it or they didn't create it for that matter. So there's less cost there in training. You don't got to redo the work because it's automated. That's increased consistency. And then there's better communication between those departments. Admins are helping the managers, so that relationship becomes stronger. So that kind of concludes what I was going to share with everybody today. I think it's time to open up for some questions.
We don't have any questions, but you have a fan in the audience.
Oh.
So Andrew Shanks said, "Hooray,
Oh, yeah.
Chantel." Andrew says hi, and he wanted to also take credit that the Humane Society you mentioned is his organization. So
It is.
proud to be
It
able to share
absolutely
that
is.
with the
And he
audience.
actually helped automate all that stuff.
That's fantastic. So yep, that's all we've got for questions coming in so far. But I know one question I have, at least, while we wait and see if anything else pops up, about how long does it take to get up and running on SUMO Scheduler?
You could do it within, like, just to get it in your org, a few hours. To train your people, a day. It's really pretty simple to use once it's up and going. Depends on how complex your use cases are, but I've had customers do it in that short time.
Very cool. So what do you think maybe has been the most interesting or complicated use case that SUMO Scheduler has helped to solve?
Oh man, that's a pretty good question. I don't know, they're all so different. Each customer is so different and very unique to what they need us to do for them. And that's the cool thing about being on Salesforce, because like, even though like out of box ours does X, we can make it go the extra mile with additional automation or things that we build in Salesforce on top of it.
So are there any pre-built reports that come along with it?
Yep, we have a set of reports for managers, like if they're using like the My Teams or have any of that set up in their org, we have reports built for like the end users themselves to use, and then there's a set of reports that's like overarching all the appointments, like company wide.
Perfect. And so then as a native tool to Salesforce, I assume that you're on the App Exchange. And I'm going to provide that link to everybody. Do you have any sort of free trial or the ability to install it into a developer org or a sandbox to kind of try before you buy?
Yep, we do trials. They can absolutely reach out and get a trial set up. Usually we have a person when there's trials that happen that kind of assists along the way to answer questions, that kind of thing. The person will be assigned to them.
Perfect. All right, doing one last refresh on our Trailblazer community to see if we have any questions that posted there. Okay, it looks like we may have gotten through all the questions for now. right, so Chantel, any last thoughts that you'd like to share?
No, I don't think so. Thank everybody for coming. Good seeing you, Andrew.
Fantastic. All right, well, y'all, we'll wrap a little early today and give you some time back in your day, but we definitely appreciate you joining us on Automation Hour. And as always, we'll hope to see you on our next episode. Thanks and have a great afternoon, evening, wherever you are.
Thanks, everyone. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, guys.